NASA's final verdict.
Starliner will return uncrewed.
On the fate of 2 stranded astronauts. A unique fundraiser for a special cause.
This is something on the side that our men and women do that they find very special.
Involving strength, spirit, and stamina. A city comes together.
I don't think there's anything like this has happened anywhere in this nation.
To honor a late civil rights leader. And motorsport takeover.
An equally as good show in a small spot is not easy.
Against world championships and monster trucks. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm Julian Davis.
I'm Samantha Gutierrez. Today is Monday, August 26, 2024.
Live from the Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Over the weekends, tensions rising between Israel and Hezbollah amid a potentially larger regional conflict. As of this morning, both Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon say they have no intention of escalating into a larger conflict.
This comes after a violent weekend with both sides exchanging fire. As CNN's Tina Kim reports, Israel anticipated the paramilitary group's retaliation for weeks.
Sunday, the Middle East witnessed a major exchange of rockets between Israel and not Hamas, but Hezbollah in Lebanon, which is one of the most powerful and well-armed groups backed by Iran. All as the U.S. tries to prevent the Israel-Hamas war from widening.
The last night was really worrisome. It's perhaps the biggest exchange we've had since the start of this conflict.
Since late July, Israel has been bracing for retaliation after the nation claimed responsibility for the assassination of Hezbollah's most senior military official, Fuad Shukr, in Lebanon's capital. Hezbollah said its launch of more than 300 rockets was completed, quote, meticulously.
We will assess the outcome of the enemy's concealment of today's events. If the result is satisfactory and it achieves the intended goal, we will consider the response process to the assassination of Fuad Shukr complete.
Hezbollah also denied claims by Israel that Israel Defense Forces thwarted Hezbollah's strike by striking first Sunday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the military destroyed thousands of short-range rockets.
This morning, we detected Hezbollah's preparation to attack Israel. Together with the Minister of Defense and the Chief of Staff, we instructed the IDF to act proactively to remove the threat.
A U.S. defense official said that the U.S. helped Israel track incoming attacks. Hezbollah said this phase of the fighting is over, with Netanyahu saying this is not the end. I'm Tina Kim reporting.
2 NASA astronauts stuck in space won't be coming home until next year. The update follows recent issues on the Boeing Starliner spacecraft. The CNN's Rick Demangela reports Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore were sent on an 8-day mission back in June.
What was supposed to be roughly an 8-day mission to space is now in its 11th week. Issues with the Boeing Starliner spacecraft kept astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore aboard the International Space Station longer than expected. And NASA announced a stunning turn of events Saturday.
NASA has decided that Butch and Suni will return with Crew 9 next February, and that Starliner will return uncrewed.
The Starliner vehicle suffered setbacks with helium leaks and thrusters that abruptly stopped working on the initial leg of its first crewed test flight. Engineers spent weeks trying to understand the problem and alternative ways to bring the crew home.
We have contingency options. We've put those in play. NASA always has contingency options.
One of those contingencies is using the SpaceX Crew 9 Dragon spacecraft coming to the rescue. NASA has repeatedly said that SpaceX's potential to step in highlights how the agency intentionally designed its commercial crew program.
Crew 9 mission will now configure Dragon for 2 crew members and will provide seats for Butch and Suni to return. We're also working to finalize those crew assignments and update the training plan.
The possible root cause was heat building up inside the thrusters that may be causing insulating seals to bulge. And NASA ultimately decided that Starliner is not yet safe enough for the journey home.
Space is hard, and you better not mess it up.
I'm Rick Damagella reporting.
Strength, stamina, and spirit were on display in Southern California over the weekend for a Special Olympics fundraiser. It's called the Plane Pole, and KCAL's Gio Insignatus has more on the story.
2, 1.
Carrying the load among teammates. In this case, it's weighing about 62 tons.
At this event, when we plan this out, we don't have a gun show here, but the size of people's arms here are just, you would think that it is a gun show.
Special Olympics Southern California's plane pull, hosted at Long Beach Airport, is a test of strength and stamina. It's also a fundraiser where all proceeds go to support people with intellectual disabilities who train and compete in life-changing programs.
I just enjoy being with my teammates, and I had a fun chat with them on Zoom. It was a fun time.
A fun time with an important rule to remember during the event.
Get your backs into it, stay strong.
As each team of 25 polls to see who can move this jet the fastest, the friendly competition featured law enforcement agencies, nonprofits, community groups, and others, including Paramount, the parent company of KCAL News. The energy encompassing the true meaning of the day for those participating, putting smiles and stoking cheers across the runway.
This is something on the side that our men and women do that they find very special, that connection with the athletes and their families.
A bond that is strengthened with some summer fun while raising money for a good cause.
That was KCAL's June Signators reporting. The plane pull has been an annual event at Long Beach Airport for several years.
A new monument is unveiled to honor the legacy of a civil rights legend where a Confederate statue once stood. The statue of late Congressman John Lewis was revealed Saturday near Atlanta. County Commissioner David Johnson and Mayor Patty Garrett had the idea to honor Congressman Lewis back in 2020. Politicians and civil rights leaders like Ambassador Andrew Young were spotted in the crowd.
So don't look at the statue and think that it's just a piece of rock. This is a spirit that has created this great city, and he did it with the right to vote. So don't you ever miss your opportunity to vote.
Community members hope that young people walking by will understand his legacy.
An overhaul with the financial aid application process known as FAFSA has caused a ripple effect leading to a drop in enrollment. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona assured parents and students the problems would be fixed and that students would be able to apply for financial aid by December 1st for the 2025-2026 school year. Around 75% of nearly 400 private colleges and universities responded to a survey that concluded the FAFSA issues changed the makeup of this year's freshman class, including its size and diversity.
A great day for Florida baseball as the state wins Little League World Series and the Marlins snag a victory.
And that's still ahead, and so is this story.
After World Finals, it's kind of where we get to try out our different moves. You know, we're not focusing on points like we were all first quarter, trying to top our tour. But now this is where we can kind of fill out the new things we want to do for next year.
A Monster Mash in Sunrise as Monster Jam returns to South Florida. Stick around, we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
No, it wasn't Alexander Barkov and Matthew Tkachuk getting physical at Amerant Bank Arena. Instead, it was monster trucks. Because of the semester break, it's been a whole month since our last newscast.
Over the holiday, Caplin's Dylan Pizzay reported on the Monster Jam Arena show in Sunrise.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Amerant Bank Arena, normally frozen over for the Florida Panthers, today covered in dirt for the superstars of Monster Jam. With the Monster Jam season ending at the World Finals earlier this year, you'd think that the superstars would take the postseason easy since they no longer have the pressure of putting points on the board. I was able to speak with MJ Solario, driver of El Toro Loco, to see the reality of the postseason.
After World Finals, it's kind of where we get to try out our different moves. You know, we're not focusing on points like we were all first quarter, trying to top our tour, but now this is where we can kind of fill out the new things we want to do for next year. But there really is no relax, and you know, it takes a lot to drive these Monster Jam trucks, so I'm in the gym every single day just working out, trying to keep myself fit so I can rip this thing around to the best of my abilities.
Obviously, an arena is a much smaller area than a stadium, and with that, it brings some unique challenges. I spoke with stadium veteran and gravedigger driver Tyler Menninga to see the full difference between stadium and arena shows.
Yeah, it's definitely a smaller area to work with when you're driving, so to come out here and put on an equally as good show in a small spot is not easy, but yeah, it is a smaller area, but the crowd sits a lot closer. We do a lot more tricks in the arena. We may not get the big air, we may not do the crazy tricks, but trick-wise, it takes more skill as a driver to drive in an arena than it does a stadium.
Competition in all types of environments are intense. I asked MJ Solorio and Tyler Menninga to let me in on what their best competitions are.
I've been known to have some pretty rowdy freestyles, so I'm hoping to throw down a pretty good freestyle this weekend.
Probably freestyle. I mean, saying that as the freestyle world champion, but I can handle any of them. Freestyle is just my favorite one of them.
Well, that's all the time we have here for Monster Jam. If you missed it and you want to come see it, they'll be here early next year in Lone Depot Park. But if you want to see an arena show like this, they'll be here once again, same time next year at the Amerant Bank Arena. For Caplin News, I am Dylan Pizzay.
The Miami Marlins defeat the Chicago Cubs, snagging their first and only win in the 3-game series. Connor Norby hit a solo home run to deep center field to push the fish on board. This was followed by another solo home run into center field, this time by Jesus Sanchez. The Cubs scored 2 runs but couldn't keep up with the Marlins. The final score was Chicago 2, Marlins 8. Miami heads to Colorado to play against the Rockies tonight.
Boston Red Sox catcher Danny Jansen is set to make MLB history by being the first player to compete on both teams in the same game. The Toronto Blue Jays and Red Sox started a game on June 26th. Play was suspended due to rain, but the game will be resumed today. Problem is, during the 2 months hiatus, Jansen was traded from the Blue Jays to the Red Sox. When the game resumes at 2:05 p.m. today, Jansen will finish the game for the Red Sox.
Florida has another champion this summer. The Sunshine State won the Little League World Series Championship against Chinese Taipei. The win was Florida's first title ever in Little League, and it didn't come easy. Chinese Taipei scored in the first inning and spent almost the whole game catching up. In a championship-winning play, Florida scored at the bottom of the 8th inning. The final score was Chinese Taipei 1, Florida 2. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Samantha Gutierrez.
And I'm Julian Davis. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.